Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to or back to my channel. My name is Kylie. Let's talk about college. I'm scared. How do I even make friends?
I actually have to go to classes.
What happens if I get homesick? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be so
How am
alone.
I supposed to know where to go?
So if those things are you, then keep watching this video because this video is all about college and what I wish I knew about college before going. I'm sweating, what the heck? 10 tips that I wish I knew about college before going to college. I used to binge these videos before I went to college. I binged all of the what I need for college, move-in vlogs, all that type of stuff, and I loved watching them. You guys can comment down below if you have any other tips for incoming freshmen going to college because it is definitely a weird time. So if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe down below and click the bell notifications to get notified about when I post. Also, you can follow my Instagram at Kylee Lange 3. So tip number 1 that I have for you guys is don't break your coccyx. If you don't know what a freaking coccyx is, I will put the description. It's basically your tailbone. Now this one is a bit of a non-serious one, but I just have to tell you the story really quick because it is cringy. And it's basically just a reminder to not be too stupid. I mean, have fun, do your stuff, but don't be stupid. I really just have to share this one because it still affects me today. If you don't know, when you break your coccyx, it is a forever thing for the most part. Now, it will heal, but it's gonna be a little bit bruised for the rest of your life. Because mine still hurts and it's been 3 months. Love that. I will insert videos. It was my first darty. If you don't know what a darty is, it's a day party, and it was when spring semester was still up and going. COVID was not a thing. It was a fun day. It was a long day. It was my first one. Things got a little bit crazy. I was being kind of stupid, okay? I was on top of a speaker for like 3 hours. Dancing and thinking that I was cool. So we went back to the dining center to get some food. As we're going down the stairs, the very, very hard cement stairs, I was not holding on to the railing, of course, and there I go, boom, 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 on my butt. At the time, I was with all my friends and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even feel it, like it's fine. And so I got right up because I was obviously a little bit embarrassed. So I was like, oh, so funny, laugh it off, get up, blah, blah, blah. Little did I know, I should have put ice on it right away so that it didn't swell and forever permanently be damaged. So I proceeded to go eat and everything. We went back up to my dorm room and everyone just fell asleep. And when I woke up, everyone was gone and it was just me and my friend. And I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't move. I literally couldn't move. My butt was broken. I still had my clothes on and everything. I literally couldn't reach down and get my clothes. I will insert a clip. Warning, the clip is very cringy and I look disgusting after a long day.
I can't take my shoes off because my...
Also, it caused me a lot of tears and I have never been in so much pain in my life. Like the next 2 weeks were the worst 2 weeks of my life. Like you think, oh my gosh, she just bruised her tailbone. No, I broke my coccyx and it was terrible. It took about a full month to even be able to function normally. I hate being over dramatic. I like to say that I have a pretty good pain tolerance, but that was something I just, no. So that's tip number 1. I know that does not apply to everyone and that will probably never happen to you and I hope it doesn't. But if it does or you get in a situation, just hold on to the railing, please. Thank you. On to tip number 2. Tip number 2 is about friends. It's a very broad spectrum of things. Right when you go to college, you need to really just put yourself out there. I know it can be a little bit nerve-wracking, especially if you go to college kind of on your own, not really knowing anyone, because that's what I did. I did not know many people. I had to basically start on a clean slate, which was kind of nice because no one knew me. You get to kind of become who you want to be, but also that can be a bad thing because you will quickly realize that a lot of people are just trying to make friends and not really be their true selves. So I would just say be careful and really try and get to know the people that you're becoming friends with, and make sure that they are someone that you're going to want to be friends with for a long time. First day. The first day you get to college, you need to just go. Like, walk around, introduce yourself to people, as uncomfortable as that can be. Get their Snapchat. That's what I do. That's like a modern day thing that can make things a little bit less awkward. It was kind of like fight or flight mode. Like, you have to make friends those first few weeks and at least have someone, because you're completely alone. And if you don't, then I feel like I feared not having any friends, and I didn't want that. So the good thing is that everyone is in the same boat, so you don't really have to worry about that. Everyone is trying to make friends at the same time. Friends come and go in college a lot. I'm telling you right now that the people that you meet the first couple weeks of college are probably not going to be the people that you stay with your entire year. And again, everyone's story is different. Everyone's journey in college is different. So pave your own road. You kind of got to figure out what works for you. But I know I actually didn't meet my best friends that I have now until second semester, and everything happens for a reason. So you just have to kind of trust the process. Another thing along with the friends tip is that not everyone is going to mature in college as you think they will.
Oh, we love that.
I actually encountered more drama in my freshman year of college than I ever have in my entire life. My high school experience was so undramatic. Obviously, my best friends, sisters, basically, I have from high school and just my whole life. So I mean, we never really had too much drama, but meeting new friends in college, everyone can be a bit stressed out, and you kind of just learn the different backgrounds that everyone comes from, and that can get a little messy, and that's okay. Again, you just have to find your people. Finding your people and the people that are like you. There's so many people in college, so many people, new people, especially at universities if you go to one. Number 3 is attendance. Please don't get sucked into the college life and just start getting lazy, because I know so many people that have done that and they have fallen off the deep end. It has not been a good thing. I'm not saying that I have attended all my classes, but I did try and attend as many as possible. I know it can be super easy to just be like, oh, I can just skip this one. It's just a lecture, but trust me, I promise you that if you end up going to your classes, you will do a lot better in the class. So just get your butt up, go to class. That's it. Number 4 is another school related one. Please don't buy your books. Everyone always told me before I went to college, like, oh my gosh, you do not need to buy your books before your first day of class. I was like, oh, okay. Like, I definitely had that in the back of my head always, but I still was like that little freshman that just wanted to be an overachiever. So I got all of my books before I went to class because I was nervous that I was going to need them the first day. I know a lot of my teachers gave us like a month to get our books if we actually needed them. I remember, I think my freshman year, I got 5 different books and I used one of them. And that one that I used, I maybe used it twice. But I just don't want you to go wasting all of your money because books are so expensive. They can be hundreds of dollars and it's just not worth it. Don't be that freshman that goes and buys all their books before the semester, even though I still feel like I need to do that sometimes. There's an internet. You can look things up. So, dorm life. I don't have a ton to say about this because I actually loved my dorm. I loved how I decorated it. I loved getting it all set up, and I really didn't mind being in such a small space. It did suck at some points. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to get out of here and have my own kitchen and my own bathroom. And my school, we had communal bathrooms, so we had to use a key every time to get in to the bathroom that you shared with a bunch of other girls. Now, that actually didn't bother me as much as I thought it would. I would have loved to have like a sink in my room or something just to brush my teeth in the morning, but you really get used to it. I don't think that's something you need to worry about. What I will say is that you should always try and respect your roommate. That is a huge thing. Everyone wants to have a good experience with their roommate. So I would definitely just recommend good communication with your roommate. I think that's the biggest thing that can help everyone out in your situation when you're living in a tiny little space with them. So just tell them where you're going. I know that you want to be all independent and rely on anyone or anything like that, but just tell them where you're going at all times. Let them know when you're going to be back. Let them know when you're leaving. And also, as far as keeping the room clean, communicate on that too. If something's bothering you, tell them, and just try and keep a good relationship, because it can really suck if you don't have a good relationship with your roommate. You're living with them. Even if you're not friends with them or they were a random roommate, you still have to share a space with them and live with them for a long time. If you guys are sharing anything, make sure that it's an even share. Like food. If you're sharing food, that can get a little bit messy. I would not recommend sharing food necessarily. But if you are going to share food, make sure if your roommate buys it one time, you buy it the next time. It's different little things like that. So the next tip that I have for you guys is to not stress so much if you do not know your major yet. That is totally fine. The average time that people change their major is 3 times. It's totally normal to not know what you want to do. I know so many people that have went into college like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what I want to do. And that is totally fine. You can have a little bit of an idea and then just kind of experiment. So you just need to take classes, take a bunch of different classes, things that you think you might be interested in, and then you might take that class and be like, oh, never mind, I'm not interested in that. You have plenty of time to figure it out. One of the biggest things that I think is super important when it comes to choosing your major is to not choose it based on money. Money will not make you happy. As much as you might think that it will, it won't, because if you're doing a job that you have to do every single day and it does not make you happy, then even though you're making a lot of money from it, doesn't mean overall happiness. So the next tip I have is getting involved. This is a huge one for me. I know so many people, again, that did not get involved their freshman year because they thought they were going to be too busy or just have too much on their plate with all the new things that college brings in, because college is so crazy. It's new stuff that you are not used to. Getting involved is super important. Join clubs, join things that you aren't used to or things that sound interesting to you. My freshman year, I joined a dance club. I was part of a church group, went to church on Wednesdays, and I really just tried to get involved with a bunch of different things. I was in an event management club, and even though those clubs that I joined were not my favorite thing, I think they kept me busy and they really helped me meet new people, and they made my experience a lot different. So in college, you are gonna have so much more time than you're used to. You will not be as busy as you were in high school, especially if you were really involved in high school. So don't be scared to put a little bit more on your plate than you'll think you'll be able to handle, because you can always kind of opt out of those things. That's the great thing about college, is that you can just opt out of those things whenever you want. It's a lot more freedom to do that. You don't have your parents just sitting there telling you what to do. You make those decisions yourself. Get involved, because if you don't, this goes kind of into the next one, I think you'll tend to get a lot more homesick. And that is my next tip for you guys, is to please try your very best to stay at college. That is just a huge tip, because it will help you to not get homesick. So when you are not very busy when you're at school, all you're thinking about is going back home. That's all you're gonna think about all the time, and you're gonna really start to miss it, which can be a huge sad thing. It really can put a damper on your college experience. I have known so many of my friends that have gotten so homesick, and personally for me, I think it kind of goes with your personality a little bit too, but I have not really gotten too homesick when I'm at college, because I think that I took the right steps to not be homesick. As much as every weekend you're like, oh my gosh, I really miss home, and it would just be so nice to go home, try your very best to force yourself to stay at school. As bad as that sounds, it will really help you in the end, because then you will end up staying at school with your friends, making memories, and you'll be like, oh, that wasn't so bad after all. I want to stay here next weekend. Try and force yourself to stay at school and spend time with your friends. Plan things for the weekends. That's what my friends and I always do. We're like, okay, what are we gonna do on this day? What are we gonna do on this day? To keep yourself busy so that you're not just thinking about home all the time. So number 9 I have is food. The dining center. If you do get a meal plan, which at our school, they make you get one. If you're trying to stay healthy, what I do is I would always try to be super healthy and clean throughout the week, and then on the weekends I would give myself a little bit of lenience, because that is still what I do now. It has always just really worked for me. But if that is not something you want to do, then I would just say try and set goals for yourself. Because you're going to be eating with your friends a lot, or even you might just be eating alone in the dining center, set goals with your friends. Be like, okay, we're going to try and have a salad once a day. Or I just really think it's important to get like your fruits and vegetables in. So they usually have a lot of those options. Just try and stay healthy. Last but not least, the one that everyone has been waiting for is parties. Oh. Everyone always wants to hear your party experience, and I'm gonna try and make this as interesting as possible and put in some of my favorite videos from the year.
I've been moving, kind of start no trouble with me. Trying to keep it peaceful is a struggle for me. Don't pull up at 6 a.m. and cuddle with me. You know how I like it when you loving on me.
Partying, as you guys know, is a huge part of college. Sort of like a social thing a little bit. And so even if you aren't really into drinking very much, that's totally fine. If you do drink, I just say like be safe and responsible. Definitely a fun thing. It can definitely create a lot of crazy memories that you'll never forget. I feel like if you never go and try it out and experience it, even if you don't drink, you do not have to go out to parties and drink every single time. But if you don't put yourself out there and kind of go have those experiences, I think you will probably regret it. I know that every time that I have passed up, I have regretted. So I met a lot of people. I think that you can meet so many people just going out because everyone's being social at night, and it's kind of just a fun thing that you get to do, and you'll never get that time back. So I say just go for it if you want to, and if you don't, there's no shame in that as well. When it comes to parties, I love to go out and dance and just be with people. That is a huge thing, and that's so fun. It's the best thing ever. So many crazy memories just going out and having fun with my friends. I loved that part about college. This is the time to experiment, find yourself, do crazy things that you wouldn't normally do because you're finally by yourself, you're independent, and you get to make your own choices. So that is definitely a tip that I have. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe down below and click the little bell notification so that you'll get notified about when I post. Stay tuned for more college videos because when it gets a little closer to time to go back to school, then I will be posting a lot more back to school college type of videos. I know that can be helpful to a lot of you who are going into college. So I really appreciate all of you who watch my videos. I love you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!